My name is Arun Coumar, and I am the driver. And you're watching Driven Diary, episode 106. Driven Diary is the documentation of my life as I build a billion-dollar automotive service business called DrivenAutoCare.com? No, called Driven Auto Care. And I'm driven, and I am relentlessly compelled by the need to accomplish a goal. I am highly motivated by cars. And this business is what I believe will, number one, help me leave a dent, a legacy of my life. I will contribute substantial value through building a billion-dollar automotive service business. That's number one. I think I can make a dent in the perception of this industry. I think it can be a completely different perceived business that's of high integrity, high quality, high status of customer experience, great prestigious employment opportunity. I think I can do all that. And Driven Diary is my documentation of the entrepreneurial journey. I started this business 2 years ago. We are up to 3 locations. I'm trying to double in size every year. I need 1 more location in 2025. And you'll get to see a little bit of that this week. You'll get to see me firing a manager on Friday. You'll get to see me recapping the clearing out of the Driven compound side of the Fremont shop, where we are building a venue for We Are Driven, which is a lifestyle brand dedicated to building a community of ambitious car enthusiasts. And we had some fun in the empty warehouse space over here right before we start truly finishing out the event space. And here I sit on Friday morning, reflecting on what was a very tiring week, but I hope you enjoy hearing about it and seeing it over the course of this week. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. These videos are, not the best quality, I admit, but hopefully you glean some insights out of these struggles that I go through with this business. So if that interests you, please subscribe. Let's get to the video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Are you driven? We are driven here in this building. We are driven, and driven means to be relentlessly compelled by the need to accomplish a goal, to be extremely hardworking and ambitious. Driven, to me, the driver, in case you didn't know, also means that you are motivated by cars. And that in being motivated by cars, you can utilize that materialism, that's what it is, to achieve a better life. And I believe that doing this while in an accountability cohort, community, whatever you want to call it, a network, some might say, that you can achieve the best life you could ever want through that material set of goals. If you're like me, you have dream cars ranging from $5,000 all the way up to $5 million. And I personally don't want to get to my deathbed and say that I didn't buy that $5 million car because I couldn't afford it. I don't want to be able to say that. I'd rather be able to say, I tried that car and it sucked. I would rather be able to say that even if it sucked and I sold it for $3 million. I'd rather say that because the person I would have to become to buy the $5 million car is a better person at the end of the day than I am today. I can't afford that $5 million car. Money isn't the only way to define worth, but I believe that if you approach money making in the right way, that you will deliver a value exchange to society. That's how people generally get rich these days. You can't just scam people and get to the point where you're buying and retaining a car collection. Those people get seized by the FBI, those cars. So, small pitch in the middle of this Driven Diary for We Are Driven. Thank you very much for watching. And today is Saturday afternoon. I'm at the shop after yet another day at the ASCCA conference. And I'm still feeling not that bought into it, but I had 3 training sessions today. The whole morning was spent with a coach who I've worked with in the past, and he's part of a company that I've worked with in the past. And so I'd heard nearly all of that material already. I didn't get much out of it. The afternoon was great. I had a session on how AI is affecting automotive shops and how we can use the way in which AI scrapes the internet to get better visibility in AI for our brands. And then I also learned about phone skills for service advisors. Kind of a basic skill, but it was a good back to basics experience for us. And everyone who participated really enjoyed that course. Got very good participation right at the end of the middle of the conference, right at the end of the day in the middle of the conference. So that was great. Spent the day there, drove straight to the shop, put on my gym clothes, and sat down at my computer. And I've been helping my accountant get through all her work for the week. I have been cleaning up my office. My office is in pretty nearly fully sorted condition now. Honestly, it is weird sharing the office space with somebody because sometimes stuff's not where I left it. So Hamilton, since you're watching this, please put things back where you found them. But anyways, that's about all I got going on right now, except for one thing, which is what inspired me to record this video right now. And that is this. I bought that Civic that you saw last week, and it ran like total garbage and would barely stay idling. And it had the behavior of a car that had no mass airflow sensor. So we did our inspection on it on Thursday, right at the beginning of the day on Thursday. And it came back that, hey, there is no intake system on this car. There's an open throttle body. That's not right. There's supposed to be an intake and a mass airflow sensor before the throttle body. So that inspection happened Thursday morning, and I was not informed of this except by the technician for the whole day. And I showed up at the shop and I was told, oh yeah, I didn't know what your priorities were going to be on this car, so I didn't reach out to you. And it's like, okay, well, you had nothing to do. Maybe you could have done that instead. Anyways, that's besides the point. That manager has already been talked to about that. But then I had this thought. Why would there be no intake at all for this car? You know what? I bet it's in the trunk. So, walked over to the car just now, popped the trunk, and I found an intake. Let me show you. We're also going to use this as a bit of a shop tour opportunity. So here is the ads set. We got our stage lighting going. We got our backlighting. We got great literature. We've got extra copies of great literature down there. I like eating at this table. This was my kitchen table at home for 3 years at one point. Got the whole kitchen set up here. Got my desk in the corner. Got the door with a new lock on it. That is nice and functional. Got these maps in the background that you're familiar with. Got our images up here. Got my daughter. Got my DBS. Got my Mercy. And there's my W8. So, we are making excellent progress with the renovations here. We have one step left. It's the floor. We're getting to that. Let me show you what's going on over here in the dark. What is going on over here in the dark is we have a Civic SI that I haven't filmed yet, but I think Hamilton has shown you this car. You can see the trunk is open. I opened it. In here we find catalytic converter, headers, and I don't really want to touch this blanket, but I'm sure there's some other parts under there that we will discover. There's also a boot in the corner. Don't know what that's about. Anywho, car's clapped, as I'm sure you've seen. But look what was back there. An intake with a mass airflow sensor. So, we'll get that installed Monday morning and see how this baby runs. Maybe it'll actually stay running this time. We also have father-in-law's old car, his ES, that is fully dialed in as a loaner. Got rear-ended at some point. This lift got put in place on Wednesday. Very happy about that. It's looking good here. It's looking very good. We have 4 lifts on this side of the shop now for finally back up at full strength. And then we have the newest loaner, which should be ready to go now that it has a new catalytic converter installed. This is the car that I traded my Alpha 164 for. It is a 2006 GS that Hamilton's given you many reviews on. Hopefully now with catalytic converter, it's in good shape. Is that yours, Dylan? Bet that's Dylan's. Anyways, well, I'll show you the lobby here too. Don't think you've seen this too much lately. Show you the lobby. Oh, we got stuff. We got mail. We got more mail. We got mail that fell in here. That's cool. Easy-ish to get out, maybe. This is the life, folks. All right. O'Reilly sending us something. All right. Here's the lobby. It's looking pretty good. It's all finished up nice. Appears to be for me. That's exciting. And all kind of bills, as you know. Okay. Now we'll go through this door to the new break room. This room is pretty good, pretty great. It's a nice room back here. You know, this is a much better setup. Core values needs to be mounted, but much better setup than we had before, I think. Separation, readily usable break room, temperature controlled, gorgeous front office. Utilizing the space as best as we can here. It is a good time for Driven Auto Care Fremont. I think that's enough of an update for this Saturday. That's all for now. Sunday afternoon, and you've heard a lot of me talking in this gym space recently, so I'm going to keep today short. I am frustrated with the fact that my business, Driven Auto Care, can only grow and adapt and change as fast as my team can absorb that change. And furthermore, that perhaps I take in too much information and want to make too many changes. And so between those two facts, or my beliefs at least, I feel like this has been a great weekend of learning at the ASCCA training conference, but there's already so much we've recently implemented that I don't really feel like I can implement any more right now and have anything stick. So, yeah, that's what I got. That's all for now. Monday afternoon, and it is very hot. I just drove the Mercy to the Caltrain station in Belmont for a follow-up meeting with the same shop I was looking at last week. It's very hot. I'm being reminded of what it was like to be a commuter, and I'm very glad I drove here in a Lamborghini. It's not it, but it's a nice place. That's all for now.
Last time, you did it twice.
No, I did it on a story post,
Yeah.
which is foreshadowing for the video. Come on now. This guy.
Man, I'm a lot taller than you.
Yeah.
Really? I wouldn't have figured.
I appreciate that.
You're like standing on. You got
You know,
heels on right now.
When I get a Mercy, my knees won't be touching the wheel.
Mine aren't either.
Oh, they
Yours
are.
is touching the fucking shifter instead.
I don't have a shifter.
You can't go
Okay.
in reverse. Yeah, this backfired on you, huh?
Monday evening. We're doing a shoot in San Francisco. That is all. 6:30 on Tuesday afternoon, and I just got taken to school. Over the weekend, I went to that conference. I was referred to a marketer. Just call him that, a marketer who is very good. Talked on the phone with him for a second. He said, go look at your Google business profile, which I will show you guys right now for the sake of it. So, what I'm going to show you here is our performance year over year. So, let's look at this. So, this is August of this year, and this percentage is comparing to August of last year. We're down 29.2% business profile interactions. We're up in terms of overall views and searches. But if we go back here, calls down 35%, directions down 33%, website clicks down 12%. Now this guy basically told me miles driven is down in California, and repair shops in general are in less demand than they were. Holy shit, is that bad in terms of our web performance, at least. So he gave me some pointers. I utilized those pointers, and let's drive some more cars through these shops. This is painful. So that's all for now. Wednesday morning, shaky camera. That's what you're gonna deal with today, because I'm in the E46 M3, which I'm very happy to say is not disassembling itself any further, is very comfortable with the new coilovers, the AST 5100s, and is a very nice car. This is a very nice car. It has a lot of miles on it, but the interior, honestly, you wouldn't know it. Everything works. The AC works. All the buttons work. Steering wheel's not super worn out. This is a great car. Whoever owned this like 2 owners ago took really good care of it, and probably put most of the miles on it. This thing has a lot of expensive parts on it. It has a real CSL carbon fiber trunk, a real GTS carbon fiber hood. It had an Eisenman catback exhaust on it that was taken off by the seller that sold it to me. This car is just actually very good. It had some shitty wheels on it that I had taken off, and which I traded for stocks. And I got stocks, not the traditional. Man, I got something just now. Not the traditional square rear setup where you put rears on the front and rears on the rear, and you have a nice square setup for your suspension or your tires. But I've got the full real stock fronts, and they are too narrow. The fitment is disgusting on this car, and so I found some Apex Arc 8s, 18 by 10 with plus 25 offset. They are the perfect fitment for an E46 M3 to run 275 tires square. So those are some meaty boys, and this thing's gonna have some real deal fitment on it here soon. And I'm happy that I'm getting 18s. I do like 18s quite a lot. So, excited for that. Those wheels are out getting refinished right now. They were quite beat up. I got them for a very good deal. They did need refinishing, but I have a wholesale deal for 1-day turnaround refinished wheels. So, very happy about that. Very happy about this car right now. This thing is great. I had physical therapy this morning, so it's about 11 o'clock. I'm just left the house. I'm headed to San Ramon. I have not been to either of the other shops outside of Fremont so far this week, so touching one of them today. I'll probably hit Campbell tomorrow. These daily check-in meetings are proving interesting. They are not particularly fruitful yet. There's some practice here that's needed in terms of creativity on new things to be trying every day to get better and get closer to hitting our goals. So that is in progress still. And Schwartz Advisors is painful right now. We're trying to sell 4 companies we currently have on the market. All 4 of them we have run out of potential buyers because all of the buyers have such poor performance going on in their businesses right now, they're not looking to buy. So it's not even about our companies that we are selling. Unless it's an absolute no-brainer, win-win, then they will deploy cash to buy companies. But if there's any hair on a deal whatsoever, if there's anything difficult about it, they're not doing it. And so between that and generally my own frustrations with that type of work, all the consulting work I'm doing, lots of political politeness is what I'm having to do right now. Not political correctness, not like that, just political politeness is very tiring to me. I had my computer video call on mute and camera off yesterday for an hour and a half long call trying to help somebody resolve IT issues. Freaking painful. So we're done with that for the day. That's not true. I got a lot more to do on that today and tomorrow. So it is a bit soul sucking. We are driven by contrast, which is what I'm building to replace the consulting work. I've had driven performance advisors for 7 years. I don't like the work, but it pays the bills. That's all it's ever really been for me. I love when I got to be hands-on with my automotive clients, but when it's just sitting behind a video call manipulating financials, can't say I enjoy it at all. The We Are Driven work that I'm doing is something I'm much more passionate about. I get to help people get into their dream cars, and so we should have a landing page done this week. We should have ads starting to run this week as well, and I'm excited to test that out and see what we can put together for people. So that's what I got for now. Thanks for tolerating this bumpy video. Talk to you later. Wednesday evening, and you will have just seen, or you're about to see, some interesting footage from inside the Driven compound. And we did this today because the floor was supposed to go in tomorrow. It's actually going to go in on Friday, but I wanted to ruin it first. And this was kind of a bucket list item to watch a car at least drift around in a warehouse. I don't know. I didn't drive it, but Dylan did. That was cool. And it broke an axle, so we had to stop, but it was awesome to see. It's great footage. May it make us famous. That's all for now. Thursday afternoon, or evening, I guess, and it's about to get dark in here. Not too bad, I guess. Well, I just ran the Fremont shop all day, and you have witnessed me finding myself in similar situations of scrambling last minute, running the Fremont shop. 4 occasions, I believe it is. The light switch for the bathroom is highly inconvenient now. 4 or 5 times, I think, I have been left to run the Fremont shop because the manager has very last minute called in sick and made himself unavailable over text calls for the entire day. So that's quite unfortunate. Oh man. Oh, I'll explain what's happening here in a second. Okay, so it's quite unfortunate, but you no call no show 4 times. It's probably about time I let you go. So that's unfortunately what is happening here. So we're hiring. The Fremont Driven Auto Care location is hiring a new manager. Yeah. Let me show you what's going on here. So this car, customer car, kind of irrelevant. It's empty over here. You can see some nice Dylan marks, but it's empty. It's fully empty. The gym is gone. The couch is gone. The desk is gone for Hamilton. Everything is gone from here. And it's gone because the floor work starts tomorrow. So we are going to be constructing or grinding down, refinishing this floor with a beautiful epoxy design, which I'm very, very excited about. So that starts tomorrow. This car will leave tomorrow. My technicians are relieved, which is sad. They're relieved to improve and upgrade their management. So he's a friend of mine. I'm not happy about doing that, but it needs to be done for the sake of business. That's all for now. Friday morning. And if I look tired, it's because I very much am. The reason I'm looking at this couch and sighing is because I was here 6 hours ago, about 2 a.m. I was here and I was passed out on that couch, unbeknownst to my wife. So I was awoken at 2 a.m. from frantic pounding on that door. I had the curtains drawn, so you couldn't see in here, but the lights were on. Frantic pounding at that door, frantic pounding on the roll-up door. And I was here on the couch, and my phone was on the desk over here, and I had fallen asleep reading. I hadn't really done my second workout. And I fell asleep probably about midnight. So I've been asleep for a long time, actually. And I saw that I was getting a phone call from Evelyn, and I answered it. And lo and behold, she was outside at 2 a.m. with our son in the car seat, in the back seat of her car. Because she thought I had been abducted by homeless people or something of the sort. If they broke into the shop while I was here late at night. So, that is, I guess, technically what happened. And I have a lot of work to do because I fired Nate yesterday. So, yeah, I was running the shop all day. Plenty of work that I had to catch up on. I didn't quite get to all of it last night, so fell asleep at 12 on the couch, woken up at 2, back to sleep by 2:30 at home, woke up at 6, got ready for the day. Now I'm here, I'm working out right now. I just had a nice customer interaction. Now I'm gonna go hit 24-hour fitness because my gym here is gone for the next freaking 2 weeks, I think. And mentally fried right now for sure. I'm going on a vacation tonight, which will be very nice. Evelyn and I are driving out to Kings Canyon National Park, having a nice weekend. So this is probably going to be the last clip for Driven Diary episode 106, 107. It's what it is, folks. I'm really glad I get to document this stuff. This is not fun, not glamorous, but it is what needs to happen. I sold $9,000 worth of work in one day yesterday, which is far exceeding our sales targets of, our sales targets are $100,000 a month which in 16 working days, 16, 17, 18 with 410s, I think it's something like 6 something a month, 5,900 a month, something like that, depending on how many days. 5,900 a day, sorry. So far exceeded that. I'm gonna enjoy proving what's possible. It's been a while since I've run a shop anyways, but yeah, it's quite taxing. This will be the first time since I had my son. I'm very grateful to Evelyn for all her support as well. So that's it for whatever Driven Diary episode this is. If you have any questions or feedback, leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed, but you watched this far, please subscribe. And if you like the video, leave a like because it'll help us show up higher in the YouTube algorithm. And that's all we got. So until next week, I hope you can go out and continue to build your own automotive dreams, even if it looks dirty and painful like this. But stay driven. That's what it takes.